Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Ultra Hardware number 72001. This is a deadbolt strike plate. That's what it looks like in its packaging. It has installation instructions on the back, of which there's a link below this video to those. Screws are included, as you can see them in there. I have one removed from the packaging so that we can take a look at it. They call this a deadbolt strike plate. Certainly that would be appropriate for a deadbolt. It's long, 3 holes top and bottom for attaching it. It's relatively thick. Let's go over the dimensional properties. About 6-inch overall height. Width of the item, 1 inch. Thickness of the steel, probably about 80 thousandths. I was off. 0.101, 100 thousandths of an inch thick. Okay. Countersinks for those screws that are included that are 2-inch overall length. Nice long length that will allow you to get through the jamb and then into the stud behind the jamb. You're going to want to be sure that you pre-drill these holes before you run them through. You don't want to run the risk of cracking the frame. Why would someone want this? Well, because it's more secure. There's more material, assuming that you're going to mortise it flush. You've got more steel that's involved. You've got additional screws that are running into the stud work behind the frame. Sometimes these are used to correct damage or mitigate a break-in that had already occurred, or someone's installing them new and they expect to have some sort of exposure to risk in terms of break-in or tampering or vandalism. So right off the bat, people will install higher caliber deadbolt strikes. Now, inside dimension is a common question. The width of the inside prep, 0.675. 0.675, so basically 11/16. The height, 1.234 inch. 1.234, so basically inch and a quarter, very close. Okay. Sold as each. They're called carded. Card is the pack. That's because they're packaged on cardboard. The installation instructions basically tell you to center the strike on the deadbolt hole with 2 holes next to doorstop. So what that means is you've got these 2 outer holes, or these 2 holes that are close to one edge, whereas the holes that are further down are close to the other edge. These 2 holes are the holes that you want to have closer to the doorstop, not on the outside of the frame, because you have naturally more of the stud that you'll be sinking these 4 screws into versus these 2 screws. Okay. I'll outline the mounting holes on the outer strike. Drill 3/32 of an inch pilot holes, 1 inch deep, they say, meaning they want you to pre-drill through the jamb only. Okay, and then allow the rest of the screw to just barrel into the stud that's behind it. Okay. I wouldn't have too much of a problem with that, except I would honestly pre-drill that hole into the stud a small amount, a 1/16 of an inch. I personally would. If the lock operates correctly, drill all the remaining pilot holes. So what they want you to do is put in the tube, test it, make sure that it's accurate, make sure everything works, make any adjustments. If everything works correctly and the latch moves smoothly, go ahead and finish all the pre-drilling and permanently secure all the holes. The trick is to where to locate this. So you're obviously assuming that the lock is going to be in the middle of the thickness of the door. You're going to want to make sure that the vertical center line also matches that. You can kind of measure how wide the rabbet is, deduct the inset of the door and deduct the amount of distance from the face of the door to the stop, assuming there's really any. And you're going to want to get that as accurate as possible. Also with the height, you're going to want the center line of the bolt to be the same as the center line of the strike, except that if you're measuring on the top of the door, you're going to need to add a little bit of dimension if you're going to put that tape measure onto the frame itself, because there's a gap between the top of the door and the underside of the header, generally about 1/8 of an inch. So you'll want to account for that. Now, one trick that some people do is that they will actually take the deadbolt, the bolt itself, and mark it, believe it or not, with lipstick. People use lipstick and then they take the bolt and throw it against the frame, and that will outline where you're going to install that, okay? Or at least to center this preparation. You're obviously going to want to drill a couple of holes so that your bolt can go in. I would probably be very much looking for perhaps a couple of holes that might be in the range of 3/4 inch diameter. A couple of holes drilled with a Forstner bit would be really nice. Straighten out the cuts that are there. You don't want to blast any deeper into the wood frame than necessary. There is no dust box provision for a strike like this, so you're going to want to, if you're mortising over an existing strike, you might want to retain the mortise, the dust box. Or if you're doing a new installation and you have to prep the frame, you're going to want that hole to be as clean as possible. Okay, you don't want to just drill through it so that it looks terrible. You don't want that. Okay. Now the name Ultra is synonymous with a huge number of pieces of hardware that are residential and commercial related. Everything from a whole spectrum of material, everything from cabinet hardware that you're going to see on residential applications, all the way through for homes, locks, hinges, security hardware, getting into commercial material, hinges, door closers, lock sets, exit devices. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Ultra hardware products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. The summary of Ultra is, if you're looking for residential hardware, take a look at their cabinet hardware. Great quality, great value. If you're doing commercial work, look at their exit devices, their lock sets, their door closers, and their hinges, as mentioned earlier. If you have any questions on the Ultra 72001 deadbolt strike or any other Ultra product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.